The whisper started before the plane even touched the runway, not after, before. That is what made the entire situation feel so strange inside the polished halls of Geneva. People were already talking about security concerns surrounding Meghan Markle hours before cameras officially spotted her arriving near the World Health Assembly events. And suddenly, the glamorous humanitarian-style trip that was supposed to look powerful and elegant began turning into something far messier behind closed doors. Because according to insiders circling the summit, Meghan reportedly faced unexpected last-minute security restrictions that completely disrupted the image she had carefully prepared for the world to see.
Meghan has booked herself a solo trip to Switzerland to stand on a Geneva plaza alongside the Director General of the World Health Organization. The husband is staying behind in Montecito with the children. The wife is flying alone to a United Nations square.
At first, nobody understood why certain access points inside the event were being adjusted. Delegates moved normally. Diplomats entered normally. Royal representatives entered normally. But then, whispers began spreading among staff that Meghan's team had been informed about movement limitations tied to specific areas surrounding high-level attendees. And that phrase alone caused immediate panic because in elite international events, movement limitations are not random. They happen when organizers become nervous about optics, controversy, unwanted press collisions, or internal complaints. Suddenly, staff members who had reportedly been expecting a smooth celebrity-style arrival found themselves reorganizing routes, changing timing schedules, and allegedly tightening access around sensitive meeting areas. And this is where the atmosphere reportedly shifted from glamorous to deeply uncomfortable, because Meghan did not allegedly fly into Geneva expecting restrictions. She reportedly arrived believing this appearance would position her as a major humanitarian figure standing beside global power players. That was the image. That was the branding. That was the narrative. But insiders now claim the mood behind the scenes became tense almost immediately after concerns were raised over overlapping appearances involving official royal representatives connected to Buckingham Palace. Suddenly, every hallway mattered. Every photo mattered. Every seating arrangement mattered. People close to the situation claim organizers became terrified of accidental crossover moments that could explode into worldwide headlines within seconds. Imagine the nightmare from their perspective. One camera shot, one awkward encounter, one frozen facial expression, one unexpected hallway interaction involving Meghan and senior royal connected figures, and suddenly the entire summit stops being about global health and becomes royal civil war content for every tabloid on earth. What made the rumors even louder was the strange timing surrounding Meghan's appearance itself, because this trip did not unfold like a long-planned diplomatic invitation announced months in advance. No, it felt rushed, reactive, abrupt, almost like something assembled at the last possible second after global headlines surrounding Catherine, Princess of Wales, exploded across Europe following her Italy appearances. That timing did not go unnoticed, not by royal watchers, not by media insiders, not by social media commentators tracking every Sussex movement. And then came the whispers about security coordination. Multiple online commentators began claiming that certain event organizers allegedly requested tighter control over Meghan's movements after concerns emerged about unauthorized photography zones, backstage access points, and possible press ambush situations. Suddenly, this wasn't just a glamorous appearance anymore, it became a containment operation. Because Geneva is not Hollywood. It is not a Netflix premiere. These are high-security international events involving ministers, diplomats, policy officials, and sensitive discussions behind closed doors. The tolerance for chaos is low, extremely low. And insiders claim organizers became nervous that Meghan's presence had begun attracting exactly the kind of circus atmosphere they wanted to avoid. Then came the detail that truly sent royal gossip channels into overdrive. According to rumors spreading among commentators, Meghan's team allegedly pushed back against certain restrictions once they realized access was being tightened around specific areas and high-profile attendees. That is where people claim tensions escalated behind the scenes, because from Meghan's alleged perspective, this appearance was supposed to elevate her global image. Restrictions completely destroy that illusion. Restrictions imply concern. Restrictions imply supervision. Restrictions imply that organizers are nervous about what might happen if movement is left uncontrolled. And once people started whispering about restricted movement, the optics became catastrophic. Suddenly, social media exploded with theories. Was someone inside the summit uncomfortable with Meghan's presence? Did palace-linked officials privately object? Were organizers worried about unexpected encounters? Did somebody complain behind closed doors? Nobody publicly confirmed anything, but silence only made the rumors grow louder. People noticed how controlled some of the arrival moments appeared. People noticed how limited certain interactions looked. People noticed how quickly movement between locations happened. Online observers began dissecting every frame, every facial expression, every camera angle like investigators examining surveillance footage, because this was no longer just a humanitarian trip. This had become a mystery. Then another explosive rumor started spreading. Some commentators began speculating that organizers feared Meghan might unintentionally overshadow the actual purpose of the summit itself. And honestly, that fear was not irrational. Everywhere Meghan goes, headlines follow. Controversy follows. Royal drama follows. One unexpected moment involving her can dominate international coverage for days. Suddenly, children's online safety discussions risk becoming secondary to royal gossip warfare. What happened next allegedly stunned even people who were already skeptical about the entire Geneva operation. Because once rumors of security restrictions began circulating quietly among insiders, the atmosphere surrounding Meghan Markle reportedly changed completely. Suddenly, the confident public image started cracking under pressure, and observers claim Meghan's carefully staged humanitarian appearance began feeling less like a triumphant global moment and more like a high-stakes damage control mission unfolding in real time behind palace-level tension. According to speculation spreading among royal commentators, organizers allegedly became deeply concerned about the media consequences of even one uncontrolled interaction involving Meghan near official representatives tied to the monarchy. Because people forget something important. These global summits are obsessed with optics. Absolutely obsessed. Every handshake is planned. Every photograph is managed. Every entrance is timed down to the second. And when a royal controversy figure enters that environment carrying years of explosive headlines, suddenly nobody wants surprises, especially not in Geneva. And insiders claim the panic intensified after reports surfaced that certain photographers and freelance media figures had already started hovering near restricted delegate areas, hoping to capture something dramatic. One awkward image, one tense facial reaction, one accidental crossover moment involving royal-linked attendees, and the internet would explode instantly. Organizers allegedly realized they were sitting on a possible international media firestorm. People close to the situation claim Meghan's team expected freedom to move through high-profile networking spaces more openly than what allegedly ended up happening. But once additional coordination measures appeared, the mood reportedly shifted from excitement to frustration. Some online commentators even claimed there were disagreements behind the scenes over which entrances could be used and which photo opportunities would remain accessible. And honestly, that detail alone says everything, because celebrities do not panic over security unless access itself becomes part of the problem. Access is status. Access is visibility. Access is power. Restrict the movement, and suddenly the image being sold to the public starts collapsing. Suddenly, the narrative changes from global humanitarian leader to carefully monitored guest. That difference may sound subtle, but inside elite international circles, it changes everything. Then came another rumor that sent gossip channels into complete meltdown. Several commentators began claiming Meghan allegedly became aware that certain attendees were uncomfortable about becoming unwilling participants in Sussex-related media storms. Think about that for a second. Imagine attending a serious international policy summit only to discover global tabloids are now hunting for reaction shots involving you and Meghan Markle. The event itself risks disappearing beneath royal drama headlines within hours. And then suddenly people notice something strange online. Despite the glamorous positioning surrounding the trip, coverage from the summit itself felt oddly controlled, very selective. Very curated, very careful. That only intensified speculation that organizers were managing the situation much more aggressively than anyone publicly admitted. Because when global events want maximum celebrity exposure, they flood the media with unrestricted visuals. But this felt different, tighter, filtered, almost cautious. Meanwhile, critics online began connecting the Geneva tension to a much bigger pattern surrounding Meghan's post-royal life. Everywhere she goes, controversy follows right behind her like a shadow. Spotify fallout, Netflix criticism, royal feuds, family accusations, media wars, public backlash cycles. At some point, international institutions allegedly start asking themselves a brutal question behind closed doors. Is the publicity worth the chaos? And according to gossip surrounding Geneva, some organizers may have quietly reached their own answer. That is the detail changing how people view this entire trip. The restrictions reportedly were not about protecting Meghan from outsiders. They may have been about protecting the summit from becoming another Sussex controversy battlefield. And if that interpretation is even partially true, it completely changes the emotional meaning of what happened in Geneva. Because imagine flying across the world expecting a major international image reset moment only to allegedly discover organizers are nervously trying to minimize unpredictable fallout around your presence. That is humiliating, especially for someone trying desperately to maintain the appearance of influence, power, and elite global relevance after years of public criticism. Observers online began dissecting Meghan's expressions during parts of the appearance, claiming she looked tense, distracted, unusually controlled compared to her typical confident public style. Whether that interpretation is fair or not almost does not matter anymore because perception became reality the moment rumors of restrictions started spreading. Then came the final twist that truly pushed the gossip machine into overdrive. Some royal commentators began speculating that Buckingham Palace insiders were quietly monitoring the Geneva situation from afar, terrified that another Sussex-related international controversy could suddenly explode into front-page global embarrassment. And if that happened during the same period Catherine was receiving glowing worldwide praise after Italy, the contrast would become absolutely devastating.